What's going on, guys? This is Steven from the BS Show. Let's do a quick hitter on Aljo versus TJ Dillashaw. This is the old gold versus new gold, the rule keeper versus the rule breaker. This is the old dog versus the new dog. So I'm excited for this one. I'm kind of torn too, to be honest, because I was a huge TJ Dillashaw fan. He's from Angels Camp, somewhere I know very well, and he trained at Team Alpha Male in Sacramento. I work up and down Highway 99, so I know a lot of these towns in the central area. So all I'm trying to say is TJ Dillashaw was on my radar from a very early stage. So it was exciting seeing him on the Ultimate Fighter. Came up short in that finale fight, but watching him grow and get better and become more of a striker, and as he started to pick up the Dwayne Ludwig style, him and Dwayne Ludwig just became inseparable, and it made TJ Dillashaw into one of the most fierce competitors in the division until it all just came to a pinnacle in that TJ Dillashaw versus Renan Barão fight. And at that time, Renan Barão was just an unstoppable killer, and TJ Dillashaw just completely dismantled him and pretty much put himself on the map. But not all good things last forever, because as TJ Dillashaw grew into a fan favorite, the dark side started to come out. The whispers came out, and on the Ultimate Fighter, Conor McGregor called him out as a snake in the grass. And at the time, he denied it, but it did come out. He left the gym with Dwayne Ludwig, and the beef with TJ Dillashaw on Team Alpha Male proceed. You guys all know that story, but it gets worse. Skip a couple chapters, and TJ Dillashaw wants to fight for that bantamweight belt. He wants to hold two belts, so he's going to fight the Cringe King himself, Triple C, Henry Cejudo. And what happens? TJ Dillashaw slips on a banana peel, gets cracked in the head, gets TKO'd, and then gets TKO'd again by USADA because he popped for steroids, he popped for PEDs. And yeah, broke my heart, broke many of your hearts, I bet. And just like that, he went from a beloved fan favorite right into a polarizing figure. Some people didn't know how to feel about him, and other people forgave him because, unlike other fighters who have popped for PEDs, TJ Dillashaw did come out right away and nipped in the butt and addressed his fans and was honest about having a hard time cutting that weight, so he needed help with EPO so he wouldn't have any harm done to him trying to cut that low. So yeah, it was a controversial topic at the time. TJ Dillashaw did his time, and to be honest, I think he used his suspension pretty wisely. He got a couple much needed surgeries that he couldn't have gotten if he was actively fighting, and that's always a smart thing to do if you have to take time off, right? It's got to be good for their heads too, because they take a lot of punishment upstairs. And I think he invested in a couple of different companies. He has a spice company that's natural and healthy and organic flavoring. So yeah, TJ Dillashaw used this time off very wisely. Came back, fought Corey Samhagen, and had a war in a fight where I personally thought Corey got the better of TJ, but the judges saw it otherwise. And that's why we're seeing TJ Dillashaw re-entering the face of that championship again, facing off versus Aljamain Sterling. So now that I broke down pretty much the whole beginning of TJ Dillashaw's career, let's talk about the man himself, Curling Sterling, as Henry Cejudo calls him. Yeah, Sterling could be cringy in his own way, but I like Sterling, watching him come up with that fake chain around his neck. He was like Kevin Lee before Kevin Lee, but he was the real deal. Kevin Lee unfortunately thought he was a little bit more than he actually was, and now he's fighting Eagle FC. But the thing about Aljamain Sterling is the dude is fit, he's in good shape, and he's like the modern day Damian Maia. You remember Damian Maia? They used to call him the backpack, because if he got on your back, it was over. You could not get him off of you. Well, Aljamain Sterling's like the modern day backpack. If Damian Maia was a jam sport, Aljamain Sterling's one of those hiker backpacks that you strap on. It has water pouches in it. It buckles in, and you could carry 4 days worth of stuff. So if it goes to the ground, good luck getting him off of you. He, like I said, he's like a snake, which is kind of ironic because he's fighting TJ Dillashaw, someone who leaned into the whole snake thing, actually getting it tatted on his body. So how ironic would it be if Sterling took him to the ground and just choked him unconscious? And to be completely honest, part of me has a soft spot for Aljamain Sterling. I mean, it's hard not to after the whole MMA community just completely turned on him after that last fight, after the first fight actually versus Peter Yan. Clearly, he was heading in the direction of losing that fight and happened to catch a illegal knee to the dome. And yeah, he acted it out. But to be honest, if you're looking at it at a competitor standpoint, he did the right thing. He did the thing that was financially correct, that made him money. Yeah, it was not the warrior thing to do. Yeah, it does not give you the street cred. The Diaz brothers do not approve. But you know who does approve? Probably his family and him in 15 years when he's done fighting and he's looking for investment. So good move on Sterling's part. Not only that, he got to see Peter Yan and he got to fill in those holes in his game that he was lacking from the first fight, and he did that brilliantly. If you look at all the best fighters, even when they lose, they always come back and fill in those holes that they weren't necessarily as polished the first time around. But Aljamain Sterling's the real deal. He's definitely made a championship material. I mean, he is the champion. A lot of people doubted him at the time, but everyone shut up after the Peter Yan fight. So props on him. That's always what you want to do as an underdog, is shut everyone up. And he did it in pretty dominant fashion, to be honest. And I think that's why no one could really say much about it. It's kind of like everyone's just hiding. It's interesting. It's weird because now finally with this matchup, people are finally starting to back Aljo because of TJ Dillashaw's background, and it's kind of like Aljamain Sterling went from being disliked to liked again overnight. So that leads us to the question, who am I picking in this fight? Who do I want to win and who do I think is going to win? I think the question was a lot more hazy at first when this matchup first happened, but now I am fairly confident that Aljamain Sterling is the younger competitor, the more hungry competitor at this part of his career. And he looks good. He looks like he's in phenomenal shape. He has the body that TJ Dillashaw wants and needs needles to get. So, yeah, I'm going with Aljamain Sterling. I just think he's just a young stud right now. He's like a backpack on the ground, and his striking's not half bad either. That's the only place I see TJ Dillashaw getting the better of Aljamain Sterling on the feet. But Aljamain Sterling's really good at getting it to the ground. TJ Dillashaw's wrestling's not too bad himself, so it's going to be a fun matchup. I just want to see a fun fight, but I am curious, who do you guys think is going to win in TJ Dillashaw versus Aljamain Sterling? Who do you want to win? And how do you feel about it? But that's it for this little rant, this quick hitter. Until next time, guys. Wait. Actually, 1 second. I just started a Twitch too. I know Twitch has this weird stigma around it, but I don't really hang out too much on there. I kind of do a couple videos. I want to talk about fights and stuff on there. So if you do have a Twitch, please go over there and follow and like the video. Subscribe. I never say this stuff, but you guys know what to do. Help a brother out. Yep. Peace.